Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, I give you BVO.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weeping and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know, shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know, every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know, I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show, this is BVO.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy BBO Boxing, and today's episode is sponsored by Raycon. That's Raycon. Go to RayconGlobal.com. Go to RayconGlobal.com to get your headphones. We got noise cancellation. We also have the Bone headphones as well, if you don't want it directly in your ear, so you can be able to work. Transparency mode, so you can work and still hear your music. Do not forget to come by RayconGlobal.com. That's RayconGlobal.com. I just want to send some love to Raycon. Thank you guys so much for the sponsorship. You guys have done so much for us in the channel. Thank you guys. Also, I want to give another shout out to another sponsor. I want to give a big shout out to The Breakfast Box. The Breakfast Box, if you are in the Akron, Canton area on West Market Street, make sure you stop by The Breakfast Box, where they're known for the shrimp and grits, as well as the world famous breakfast dog and their new thing to the menu, the French toast sandwich with egg and any meat of your choice. The home girl. Make sure you stop by The Breakfast Box and get your breakfast there. Salute. Appreciate everybody coming through. We're going to be interviewing Joseph Brown, young fighter, good young guy coming up in the game. I'm excited about him. Want to talk to him because guess what? We got to talk to him before we become champion, man. Shout out to the mighty Sports Talk Network. Shout out to my brother Juan. Shout out to my brother Puerto Rican Free. Shout out to my man, even though he ain't changed his name, Real Talk with Tommy, man. Real Prison Talk with Tommy. He's part of us too. We waiting on him to change his name. Yeah. And I got my guy, CDK, in the house. What's going on, bro?
What's good, my brother? How you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm doing well, man. I cannot complain.
Salute to everybody in Sports Talk Nation. Y'all know what it is.
And so just to kind of go over before we wait for our guests to come on up, I gotta give Dimitri Bivol or Dimitri Bivol, whatever you want to call this young man, our big attaboy, went in there, stole another one from Beterbiev. You heard me say it, he stole another one from Beterbiev. And I also want to give some love because he got a lot of hate. He should have maybe knocked him out earlier, but he won. Shout out to Shakur Stevenson, man. I want to give Shakur some love because Shakur Stevenson, if we being real, he got in the ring with Devin. The Devin fans said, hey, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't. You're a hater, bro. You're a hater. But I got to give Shakur his credit. That brother want to fight anybody. Cat, dog, man, woman, child. He don't care who it is. He ready to fight anybody. What you think?
I definitely believe that. I didn't get to see the fight yesterday. I was at work. I got to see the highlights. Shakur Stevenson wants to fight anybody, but the fight, we know the fight he wants, and it's the fight that the fans really want. And I think it'll be the biggest fight in boxing, man. It's time for him and Tank. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to make this fight happen. I just want to see it. May the best man win. Like I say all the time, it's a 50-50 fight. I favor Tank, but I want to see it, man. Two smart guys, great IQs, different styles, and I just want to see how those styles work together.
Yeah, I definitely am excited. Either way it go, I would favor probably Tank. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't have a pick. I'm gonna take that back. I don't have a pick. I just want to see the fight. We do too much of that as content creators. I don't got a pick.
Yeah.
Whoever wins. I just want to say I hope to see a great fight. And shout out to Shakur Stevenson, man. I don't know if he go by the outlaw. I know he don't like being called sugar, but shout out to Shakur, the Puerto Rican man, because that brother has shown you it don't matter who it is, man, woman, cat, dog, he ready to fight. You remember we seen him hit that lady in the back of the head. I'm just,
Yeah.
But yeah, Bibble did good. Did you talk to Joseph, or is he on his way?
He on his way. He's on
Okay.
his way. I talked to him. Let me make sure that he got my message. Let me make sure he
I'm
got my
excited.
message. He had just texted me like maybe like 2 or 3 minutes ago. So I'm just making sure that he getting the message.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't get to see nothing but maybe 1 or 2 fights. You know what I'm saying? I definitely missed the. I wanted to see the Virgil Ortiz and Jamal fight. I know you watched it. What do you think about that fight? How did it play out?
I told you, man, King Virgil, there's only one Virgil Ortiz.
So
There's
it was
only
a good
one,
fight.
baby. King Virgil, baby. I've been telling y'all about him. They're running from him. They're scared of him. That brother from Texas, man, the big Don Dada from Texas, King Virgil Ortiz, with another spectacular win. Boacek got him out of here. Majimov got him out of here. And let's be honest, he beat Majimov worse than Bud did. Uh-oh, don't get us in trouble. He beat Majimov worse than Bud did. So, hey, don't get mad at BVO. I just give you the truth. Shout out to King Virgil, man. And we understand, Boots Ennis, you did the right thing. Stay away from Virgil. You a top bunk type of guy. I wouldn't mess with a king dumb dollar like Virgil, who probably a kingpin status, bottom bunk type of cat. You know, so you just get back to the top bunk Boots. You don't want to see no Virgil. What you think about that?
Hey, BBO,
Yeah.
resend the. He said he didn't get the link. Could you resend him the link?
Oh, to his email?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
1 second.
1 second. 1 second. Hold on. What was that? Hey, I don't know why people sleep on Virgil either, man. Virgil is the done data, man. They can't see Virgil. Even my man CDK was the doubting.
I did doubt him, but he proved me wrong, and I ain't mad at him.
Yeah, man. I keep telling my man CDK, stop going against the brothers, man. He don't listen to me. He don't listen to me. I don't know why he don't listen to me. And that's my brother, y'all. He don't listen to me, man, at all. I don't
Yeah.
know. Keep doubting the brothers, man. It's sickening, man. It's sickening. It's sickening. Because we all know Virgil is the truth, man. He not no Boots in this. He don't just fight who they put in. He won't only fight the best guys, man. Since he got into the game in 2016, he only fight the best guys, you know.
Well,
Go-
actually, he's fighting just like Boots, man. They looking for anybody they can fight. You know what I'm saying? Boots definitely wants to fight everybody, but it's hard to get fights. But it looks like now things are changing. It looks like he's gonna be able to wrap up the division and maybe go on to 154 and do what he got to do. That's what I'm hoping for.
Can you text me that email again, man? My bad. Text me that email again.
Okay. Listen, did you see it in your Instagram?
No, text it to me.
Okay, 1 second.
Hold on. I got it. One. But yeah, Virgil, man, I'm just excited about Virgil, man. I was just so surprised at how dominant he looked, man. And for all those punks who say he was ducking Terrence, stop the clown stuff, man. He would have stopped clean. Virgil's that guy, man. Put some respect on his name, man.
I don't think he was ducking Boots. I think he just didn't feel like the time was right, or his team didn't feel like the time was right because he turned it down. Just like he turned down Boots early in his career. I think they was trying to, Robert Garcia and want to make sure that he was ready before. Now I think he
See, when
definitely
you
was
do
ready.
that, CDK, that pisses me off because you don't never give brothers no credit. You don't never give nobody no credit, man.
Well, I'm telling the truth. I can only tell the truth. This is what they said. I'm going off what his team said at the time. They needed 4 years to fight Boots, and they turned down the Bud Crawford fight. I don't know why they turned it down. I don't think it was Virgil. I think it was his team.
Salute to my brother, man. My cousin Bruce. Salute to Bruce, man. My guy. Uh, okay, hold on 1 second. I think we got a Puerto Rican in the back. 1 second. Want to make sure you had that music on. I know you had your Telemundo on. All I heard was that music.
There wasn't no Telemundo.
Puerto Rican free out there got his Telemundo on loud,
Nah,
man.
I was listening to what you was listening to. I was listening to Fred Hammond.
Hey,
Fred,
BBO. He said he got a link from you, but an email from you, but there's no link attached.
just I put the link in there. Hold on 1 second. What we might have to do is just hold on. Yeah, I might have to just erase this whole live and start over.
Hold on 1 sec.
Yeah, man, hold on. Put the money in the bag. Okay, here we come. Hey, oh, you're right. I did put it in there. Hold on. Hey, y'all cats gotta use y'all's phone. Y'all be using these emails. There we go. See if you got it now. Hey, this is what we're gonna do real quick, CDK. We're gonna delete this one and start it all over again so we can do it right.
Okay,
You know, at the sports talk,
he checking
go ahead.
He checking it now. I don't want him
Yeah,
to
tell him if we can get him like this, what I'll do is I'll delete this one and do it all over again. The right way. I seen the funniest thing. I seen this guy getting chased by this XL bully. That little thing was fast, man.
If it was an XL, yeah, it's going to be fast. That the XL is like 25 inches.
Yeah.
So they the biggest of the bullies. Them joints, they fast. Like my pocket bully, she fast, but she nowhere near as fast as an XL.
Oh, you got
long stride.
All on the pocket one?
Yeah, I got a pocket bully. She's only like 13 inches high.
And them things look like little meat. They look like little meat mountains running.
She's not that smart. Like I don't have no micro. I got the pocket. Like I don't like those micros because they have a lot of health issues. So I got a pocket. But
I see what you're saying. I'm talking about the micro. My bad. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. But she's already in heat. She's in heat now. Like females, they go in heat as early as 6 months, but she's 10 months, so she's in heat now. So I got to keep her away from all the male dogs because I'm not going to breed her first heat. I'll wait till like her second, maybe third heat before I breed her.
Okay.
Because you want them to be fully mature when you breed them. You don't want to breed them on the first one because usually when you breed them on the first one, they won't have a full litter. They probably only have like about 3, maybe 4 dogs. But when you breed them when they fully mature, that's when you'll get a breeder like maybe like 8, 9 dogs.
Wow. Shout out to Floyd buying an entire block. Our boy Floyd doing his thing.
Floyd doing a whole lot. Let me see if we get him.
Oh, about to go out. Texas Roll House has some food.
Oh yeah, they got the best biscuits. All right, we got you out, bro.
All right, what's good, my brother? We apologize for the inconvenience.
Nah,
it's all good, man. Listen, this young man right here, if you don't know, I'm gonna break it down to you. He was 67-0 as an amateur, 6 national titles, I believe, 1 title in Muay Thai. I'll make sure I'm saying it right. Muay Thai, which is also a form of boxing as well. But man, we just glad to have you here. And this young man right here, his name is Joseph Brown. If you don't know who he is, be on the lookout. He's also a member of the TMT, the money team. Man, how you doing today, sir?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm blessed and highly favored. I can't complain.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Man, I got my brothers with me up here. I told you about it, and I got my other brother, D Free. We got our thing called Sports Talk Network. We've been focusing on boxing, but we've also branching out into other sports as well. And man, I've been trying to talk to you for a minute. I know you're a busy young man. It's hard to get in touch with you. But you've had 4 pro fights. How does it feel right now? How's the transition from the amateurs to the pro?
It feels great. I feel like ever since I started boxing, I've always had more of a professional style. Even as like a little kid, growing up as an amateur, I've always felt more like a professional. So the transition to me was super smooth. I like the pros way more. You can hurt people a lot easier. So I'm loving it.
Loving it, definitely, definitely. Man, I know you started doing this thing. You started at 3 years old, I believe, with basically learning your dad, he's a mixed martial artist, he's been doing it all his life. And you started there first, I believe, and then you went into boxing at 6 years old. What's the difference between the two sports? Like, people sometimes say you got to have a high IQ when you're doing the MMA because there's more things you have to put into it. But how do you feel about that?
I mean, I feel like in everything you have to have a high IQ. Of course, like MMA, you have to worry about a lot of different things, but I feel like in MMA, if you're strong in one thing, like if you're really, really good at like, let's say you're stand up or you're really, really good at jujitsu, you can like use that and roll with it. You know what I mean? Whereas boxing, you just got your hands, so you have to be kind of good at everything with your hands. So I mean, there's pros and cons to both, but they're both cool in their own way. I like both of them.
Definitely. BVO free.
So what's going on, brother? How you doing? This is
Uh,
BVO.
Yeah, what's up? Nice to
Hey
meet you.
man, so I gotta ask you this, man, before I go into my questions, man. How does it feel to be living your dream, man?
Man, it's like surreal. It's like, is it really happening? It's crazy. It's crazy, but truly, truly blessed.
So when you grew up, you grew up with your mother and father, you just grow with your father. How did you grow up?
Yeah, I grew up with both of them.
Okay. So growing up, so you probably were born in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. What was it
Yeah.
like growing up for you, man?
Growing up was cool. Like I said, because my dad's been training me like since I was born. So I feel like my whole life has just been like hard work. Just a lot of hard work, especially like I think around like 6 is when I really started like training like hard. So I didn't really from that point all the way up until now. Still, I never really had like a normal childhood like most kids have because I would be in the gym like training for hours and hours every day. But like I'm grateful for it because I think that's the reason why I am where I'm at today.
So being like a prodigy like this, how was it when you wasn't able to hang out with friends or wasn't able to go out like everybody else? How did that kind of affect you, man?
Um, I it was kind of like a little upsetting at that point because it's like you're a kid not being able to go and do stuff that the rest of the kids are doing. But my dad kept telling me one day all this is gonna pay off, which it is now. So I'm grateful for it.
So when you say so was your dad's vision, or how did you come to the conclusion, hey, I want to fight? Because one thing about fighting, that's something that you gotta want. How did you get into that? There's something that you wanted, or that's something that your father showed you early on?
I think it's a little bit of both. Like he showed me it early on and got me into it, and then after it wasn't after like I want to say maybe when I was like 12 or like 13, like after I started winning my first few like national tournaments that I like really started to grow and develop my own like real passion for it and say, this is what I want to, make a career out of.
So that being said, how did you stay away from like the allure of like scamming, stealing? A lot of younger guys kind of get into those. I don't know if you classify the street stuff, but doing the wrong thing because it ain't easy. It ain't hard to scam. I'm sure you've seen guys do it. What kept you away from stuff like that?
I say just my parents did, I'm super grateful to, had great parents in my life. My dad grew up in the streets and, he did all that. So he tried his best to make sure that, I stayed away from it. So, I mean, even growing up, I had, bad neighborhoods I lived in and stuff like that. But, both of them always make sure that, I kept focused and I stayed locked in on, my boxing, my martial arts, and I didn't get into all that.
So speaking of martial arts, did you like watch shows like Naruto, or as my dad called it, Naruto, or Dragon Ball Z? What kind of got you? Did the anime help you get into?
To be honest, no, I never really got into anime.
Okay, okay. I was just wondering because sometimes watching those shows kind of make you want to do that because you always hear people say, "Oh, yeah, I used to watch this and this made me want to do that." What was your favorite fighter then that made you want to be a part of mixed martial arts?
My favorite fighter?
Yes.
Mm, man, I mean, I've had a lot. Um, like just getting into like MMA and stuff. Like it was my dad that like got me into it. I mean, growing up, I'd watch people that he liked and he had me watch it. So he was like a big Bruce Lee fan. So I like Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Boxers. Floyd's always been like Floyd and Roy Jones always been my favorite growing up. When it comes to like MMA, like I loved like when I was younger watching like the older people like George St. Pierre and like Anderson Silva, those type of people.
Yep. Yep. Free. Free there.
Yo. Well, so being though that you fought in the MMAs early in your career, did that prepare you for boxing?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I feel like there's a lot of things that like the MMA side it helps me in my boxing, and a lot of I feel like I have an advantage over most normal boxers because some of the things that I do like they're not used to.
Now, what division are you boxing at?
Super welterweight, 154.
Oh, okay.
So that being
Now,
said, man,
go
sorry,
ahead,
man.
BBO.
Go ahead, Free. My bad. Go ahead.
No, I say go ahead, BBO.
Oh, okay. So that being said, I gotta ask you. Sorry, I had a little technical difficulty. What did you do when guys would try you? Because I know, being you in the inner city, dudes gonna try to see if you can really do it. How did you keep yourself cool when guys want to see, hey, Joe ain't that dude. He not that guy. What would you have to do to keep yourself under control?
Honestly, like I never even really had to like go through that because like me, I'm not like an outside type person. I'm just like go to the gym, go home. I spend my whole life. I'll wake up, go to the gym for a few hours, come back home, go back, train again for a few hours, and go sleep, and then get up and do it again. So I'm not an outside person.
Okay, and I gotta ask you this, man. I will pass it back to my brother Free. So now that you with, arguably one of the greatest fighters that ever lived, how do you deal with seeing so much wealth and I would say decadence with Floyd? How do you stay humble when Floyd provides the best of everything? How do you still stay humble?
I mean, at the end of the day, I still have morals that I live by. I got to answer to God one day, so I don't let any of that get to me. I'm still the same kid that I was when I was just starting out, and I still will be until like I finish my career. You know what I mean? It's the humility that has me where I am today, and that's what's gonna take me to the end of my career too. So I'm never gonna lose that.
Have you had any issues with trying to navigate the new women, the new attention from women? Now that you're a pro,
Nah, no issues. You know,
oh, that's small. I don't know. I don't know if you told us the truth, Joe.
nah. Of course, they're gonna come. But like I said before, like I'm super locked into what I'm doing. And I'm a godly person. I try my best, so I'm not, I don't get distracted easily.
Definitely. Go ahead, Free.
Now, how did it come about with you signing up with TMC? Did you work out at his gym, or did he see you fight before and he wanted to sign you?
So, my dad had became friends with his uncle Jeff Mayweather, who trained me for a while, and they became friends online first when I was like maybe 12, and then a couple years later when I was 14, my dad had sent me to Las Vegas for the first time to go train with Jeff, and me and Jeff was like training like a lot, so I'd always be going to Vegas back and forth, training with Jeff and fighting as an amateur for the gym, and then I guess like after a while, probably word got around. Floyd heard about me, and when I was like 16, I was in the gym one day, and then he had popped in, while I was working out. And we started talking like that. That's how it started.
Okay.
So have you spot any of the any notable guys in your early in your career?
Yeah, I've been able to be in the ring with a lot of great world champions like Jaron Ennis, Brian Norman, Carlos Adames, Chris Eubanks. I've been with a lot of great people.
Is
Oh,
that
wow.
true that you
Wow.
beat that you were giving Chris Eubanks real work? Is that rumor true that you giving him real work? That's what I heard, man.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. That's what they
Oh
said.
man, there you go.
I respect that. I respect that. But
They said that when you went in there, Chris was making it seem like he was just a kid and he showed him a different level. I was want to know if that was true, man. I just want to know if that was true.
I mean, that's what they're saying.
hey, I like that. I like that though. I respect that. And I heard, you say Andre Ward in the interview. Andre Ward, Floyd, and Roy Jones are three of your favorite fighters. And I heard you say that the first fight you ever seen on TV, I think, was the Miguel Cotto and Floyd Mayweather fight. And the first fight you ever seen in person was the Manny Pacquiao fight. So I'm gonna ask you this: your three favorite fighters, what have you tried to take from them and put into your style, if anything? Ward, Jones,
Man,
and Mayweather.
of course, Floyd's defense. I feel like it's easy to say that defensively he's the best ever, in my opinion, at least. So definitely, Floyd's defense. Roy Jones' speed. I've trained with Roy Jones a lot lately, and he's a great mentor to me too. You know what I mean? Like whenever I have questions about anything, I just pick up the phone and call him, and he'll sit down and explain everything to me. So certain punches that he throws and things like that, he's been helping me work on for sure. And then Andre Ward, just like I feel like my style is just like super similar to his. So I watch him and study him a lot. How he uses like his jab and his lead hand, and also how Andre acts outside of the ring. I really admire too. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you this, man. From what I've seen with your frame, you kind of remind me a lot of Jamel Charlo. So that being said, have you watched Jamel? Because y'all both got that wiry kind of frame. Have you watched him for sort of some of the similarities as far as
to
body
be
type?
honest, I didn't. I think he's a great fighter, but I don't think I really ever got into watching either one of them too much. But I do think they are great and they have great skills too. But I just never watched them that much.
If you ever get a chance, I would say for a guy with your body type, watch Jamel Charlo versus what's the guy? Dog, sorry, man. Versus the dude from Detroit. What's the guy from Detroit? I just lost his name.
James Harrison.
James Harrison.
Tony Harrison.
Tony
Tony
Harrison.
Harrison.
If you watch the first and second fight, that'll tell you with the body type that you have, how good that fight can be, and what happens when you don't use it the right way. The first fight is how you don't use it the right way, and the second is how to do it. Because I think you got those long arms. I think you'll be really great with a nice jab. I don't know if you purposely are try to be defensive. You're a lot more defensive than most your age too. How did you kind of get that to where you got your defense this early? Because in the amateurs, catch be throwing. What made you not just fall into that trap of just
Yeah,
throwing?
just the way my dad taught me growing up. I mean, he taught me how to slip punches before I knew how to throw punches. So yeah, growing up, it was just defense installed me. So that's why it's it's so strong today. That's like my foundation.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I know,
noticeable too, man. You're doing a great job.
I know you said that. I seen where you said that multi or that aspect of it help you with your range, because when I watch you fight, you have great range. You're good with distance or whatever. So did that really help you a lot as far as knowing your distance and stuff?
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely helped my distance a lot for sure.
Definitely. Go ahead, Free.
So I'll just ask you this, man. When you talk about doing Muay Thai, my thing is I'm wondering, how did your feet become so educated? Because I've watched a lot of young amateurs, man. For you to have your feet already in order, did that come from working with Jeff, or did that come from working with your father?
I say my dad for sure. You know, my dad just like he knew how to get my footwork right for like every like discipline that I was in when I was boxing or kickboxing, MMA, whatever it was, he knew how to, get my feet right. And of course, people like Jeff also helped add on to it too.
Yeah, and I say that because so many times in boxing, it's not so much about the punches; it's about where your feet are when you throw the punches. Like I noticed, you don't just walk the guys; you kind of scoot to them, and that's not something that's normal for a guy your age. I know you probably hear that a lot, but that's not normal. Man, cats usually walking the dudes. I see
Yeah.
you already scooting to them, and that's like a major difference. In I don't think it'd be hard for you to. Is that why it's so easy for you to cut the ring off? Because you learned that
Yeah.
little skill right there.
Yeah. All those small stuff makes other things way easier in the ring.
Yeah, because I like your style. I kind of wish you would throw more, but I know that's not your natural thing. But I would love to see you come forward more. Because man, with your feet like they are, you could be like a baby De La Hoya dog, knocking fools out. But that's because I like the Mexican style. Don't excuse me, but I just love what I see from you, man. You know how to
Hey,
cut the ring off. I love it, man. I just can't wait to see you beat some more people up. Man, go ahead, free my back.
Hey, with that being said, I'm gonna piggyback off of what BBO just said. With you fighting in a Muay Thai and MMA, how difficult was it when you switched over to boxing not to kick somebody when you when you had them in a position? Because you used to being able to use every aspect, your elbows, your hands, your legs. How difficult was it when you switched over to boxing?
It wasn't difficult at all because like growing up, like I did everything growing up. So I always knew how to switch between every single style that I was doing. You know what I mean? It wasn't until that I turned pro in boxing that I slowed down. Well, not I still do it, but I just don't like compete in it right now. But like I still do everything. So I mean, from the time I was a little kid all the way to now, I still been doing everything. So I learned how to switch between all the different styles from an early age.
yeah, you said
All
that
right.
10 years. I'm sorry, free. 10 in 10 years you plan
No,
on
no, you good.
going. Okay, in 10 years you plan on going back to MMA. I think I heard you say. I know you wanted to box first, and then you plan on going to the MMA and becoming a champion over there. Are you working on your ground game right now? Because that's a big part of MMA, the ground game. And I think a lot of times when people transition, most of the great fighters they're able to do it all. So are you working on your ground game any?
Yeah, of course. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what. By the time I do crossover, that's what I'm probably gonna have like the best stand up, like regardless. I mean, even if it is just hands, but I mean, when I was kickboxing and everything, my feet was actually better than my hands. So I mean, they're still really good. So I think by when I do crossover, I'm still gonna have like the best stand up game like around. So everyone's gonna try and take me down. This is it's probably gonna be the only way to win. So yeah, I'm working on that.
That's why I was asking that. Go with BBO. You there?
Real
Mm.
real quick. What type of style would you say you have? Are you a boxer puncher or are you a pure boxer?
I would say boxer puncher. You know what I mean? I like to like I'm very defensive and I like to, set up my shots and things like that and not rush into it. But I do have really good power too.
Definitely, definitely,
Uh,
definitely great power.
now, do you
Go ahead. No, go ahead, free.
no? Do you have any fights that's coming up that we need to know about so we can keep an eye out for you?
Yeah, I'm fighting March 22nd in Las Vegas on Fundora's undercard.
Okay, okay.
And those on the card. Uh, you like to say you got to spar Jerron Booth Ennis and others, and we always go back and forth, man. I think Jerron Booth Ennis is a really special talent. I think saying he's great. And between all the guys you sparred, where would you rank him as far as who you sparred?
Nah, I'd have to put him at the top, to be honest. I think, out of everybody, he's probably like the most well-rounded, in every aspect of the game, his offense, defense, speed, power, IQ, and he can switch too. Like, he's definitely the most well-rounded.
Definitely, definitely. And you say you also sparred Brian Norman too.
Yeah, yeah, I did.
And that fight probably gonna be coming up real soon, man. Do you think that's gonna be a great fight?
Yeah, it should be pretty good. I like to see it.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. BBO free.
Um, who would you say gave you your toughest sparring out of everybody that you sparred? Whether it's a notable name or a person that's not so noticeable. Who you think gave you your toughest sparring matchup?
And it's hard to say, like who's giving me the tough sparring, because I mean, tough sparring can like depend on like a lot of factors, like stylistically, if you got someone that you're not that great against because of their style, or you could come in the gym tired that day. So I mean, there's a lot of factors that um play into that. But if I have to like still go like, just like the best person, I'd put Boots as like the best person that I've sparred. But tough is kind of hard to say.
Definitely.
Now we hear a lot about Jerome Boots Ennis, the switching and the fast hands and the ring IQ. How big of a puncher is Jerome Boots Ennis? Is his power legitimate, or is that something that people just hype up?
No, it's legit too. Boots got good power, and I think a lot of that comes from how quick he is too. Speed is power. If you're fast, you're gonna crack too. So I think that's where a lot of his power comes from. But yeah, you definitely feel it.
Definitely, definitely. You know, Camille Moten is also another young guy that's over there with Floyd as well. Have you had the opportunity to spar with him?
Yeah, me and him sparred a ton of times. That's
A
my
ton
guy.
of times. Yeah, a ton of times. Uh, as far as the fast track, we seen this situation. I don't know if you've been paying attention to what went on with Shakur Stevenson and Floyd Schofield. Uh, you know, do you want to be on the fast track or do you want to just move at a steady pace? And are you know what I'm saying? Like some guys want to try to get in there early with big name fighters, or are you content with where you are right now?
I'm right now. I'm doing good. I'm just trusting. Mayweather Promotions to guide my career the right way. Of course, I've been in there with all the best of the best, like in and around my weight class. So I already know where my skills stand, and I know that I can be in there with those guys. But I'm still 18 too, and my body's not fully finished developing yet. All these guys right now, they all have like man strength over me that I don't have. So I mean, just because I could be fast tracked and going there and getting there with these guys doesn't mean that I should just because I can. So I'm cool with taking my time, but like I said, just trusting maybe the promotions to move me the right way.
Definitely, man. I can't wait to see. You know what I'm saying? I know. I'm gonna say maybe 20 fights in, or before then, I'm gonna say even early in that. I think that you would be ranked in the top 10 or even five. Man, I've been watching you. Like I said, I've been checking your fights out over and over, and I'm just waiting to see, man, when you get that opportunity. And Chris Eubank, him and Connor Bean. Have you ever had the opportunity to spar Connor Bean?
I haven't sparred Conor Ben. No.
You haven't. I think they're getting ready to fight. How do you think that fight plays out? Is Chris
I
Eubank a
think,
slick fighter?
yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting. I think I don't think Conor Ben has been in there with anybody of the caliber of Chris Eubank, so it'll be interesting. It's a good test for both of them.
Definitely.
Well, my,
BBO, you
my,
there?
well,
Now,
my, go ahead.
go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
go ahead, BBO.
No, what I was going to ask you, man, because a lot of people that I looked at that kind of spoke about you said, they look at you as a light heavyweight, super middleweight one day. Do you think you could see yourself at light heavyweight one day, even though you're only 18 now?
Yeah, I guess if I grow into it, because everyone keeps saying that I'm gonna get big and grow. So I mean, like definitely like height and frame wise, I could like for sure fill out to that. So we'll see how I grow.
Yeah, because I think what they're doing, having you at 54 is great because it looks like you're not cutting too much weight. Because I could look at you and say, Yeah, he's gonna be 175 pounds one day. I can see that easy. But I'm telling you, man, it's great to where you at because I'm telling you, sometimes guys cut way too much weight to try to have an advantage. Have you seen the bad things that come with that as well?
Yeah, I've definitely seen the disadvantages of overcutting and stuff like that, and I've seen the disadvantages of underdoing it. So right now I'm at a good place right now. I'm not having no problems making 54. So we'll hold it as long as we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Free.
Yeah, Free.
With you, when you in training camp, do you do a lot of studying of your opponents, or do you let your team study the opponents and give you the game plan?
I think it's a little bit of both. Like I'll check out my opponent a little bit just to see what he does, and just so that I have a little bit of a clear idea of what I'm getting in to do, because I feel like everybody in the team is going to be able to point out different things. So I mean, there might be something that I might pick up on that nobody else on the team picked up on. So that's why I feel like it's important for me to watch a couple things, but not overdo it, because at the end of the day, I'm not focused on what they do, I'm focused on what I'm doing.
Man.
I'm glad you said that, because I talk to a lot of young boxers, and they always say they let their team study the opponent, and that was the same thing that I always said. You might see something that your team don't see, or they might see something that you don't see. So I love that answer that you gave, because you never want to go in there blind. Yeah, your team is doing the study, they give you the game plan, but when you watching film on your opponent, you see things that they like to do, even though your team is giving you a game plan, but it might be something that opponent likes to do, or how they like to set up their shots that your team don't really catch up on, that you might pick up on. So I love that answer.
Definitely.
I'll just say this, man. What you're doing is great, and I'll say, man, definitely as you get more success, because everybody know that you're gonna be the guy, man. We kind of already get it. So I would
Yeah.
just say, as you get more and more, man, just try to be as careful as you can, because you're gonna make mistakes. People gonna lie and say you're not, but you're gonna make mistakes. Just try to learn from them, man. That's all I can say. And I appreciate you so much for coming on, man.
Yeah. One more question before you go, and I definitely appreciate you. I wanted to ask you this, but I'm glad you came on here today and let BVO know just how good Boots is. He's a real Boots hater, you know what I'm saying? And I've been telling him for a long time that, man, Boots is the truth. You know, I've been trying to tell him that, man. I'm glad that you came on here and clarified that for us, man. That right there made my day. And I'm going to be able to go to sleep good tonight knowing that BVO heard that firsthand from Mr. Joseph Brown. You know what I'm saying? But the last question that I want...
This is a sick Negro.
The last question I want to ask you, Shakur Stevenson, Javante Tank Davis. I don't know if you work with any one of those guys. That's the fight that I want to see. That fight right there. People talk about Shakur power. They talk about Tank having the power. Do you think that's going to be a great fight? Do you think it's a 50-50 fight?
Yeah, I think it's 50-50. I mean, I like both of them. They're both cool people. And it's just gonna be like one of those like boxer versus puncher. You know what I mean? So it really is 50. I couldn't even go one way or the other. I think it's 50-50.
Think it's 50-50. Keyshawn Davis, is he a 50-50 fight with those guys right now at this moment?
Honestly, I believe so too. I really do believe in Keyshawn's skills. I think he's a great fighter as well. I think with I think Shakur was 50-50. Tank is close too. I feel like Tank probably has like an edge over him in terms of experience, but skill wise and stylistically, I still think it's 50-50.
Definitely. Man, anybody got anything else?
I'm gonna just say this, man, because you can't listen to CDK, man. He must have had a beer this morning. I've never been. I like Boots. I like Boots. I think he's good. I just say I like Virgil, because I know you seen Virgil beat a really tough guy. Did you see that fight yesterday with Virgil?
I just saw like clips of it, but I'm surprised that he won. I didn't think he was going to.
Thank you.
Because you know what I will say. You know what I will say, Joe. When I see Virgil, I see you could probably be like that, just beating people up, man, hurting them bad. punching him in the body, walking him down. I'll just say this, man. Don't fall too in love with that slick boxing, man. If you want the money, go get
No,
them, beat them boys up
listen,
like I know you can, man.
BBO wants you to be a punching bag. You keep doing what you doing, doing what you doing what you do. Got you to 67-0 as an amateur and 4-0 as a professional. You keep doing what you doing. Don't become no punching bag. I love your style. Don't change nothing.
All I ask you is this, Joe, because I watch. See, I did a lot of studying you, man. I just want you to be first more than you are. That's
Yeah,
all I ask. I want you to be first, and you know what I'm talking about. I want you to be more first.
I can agree with that a little more right there. Definitely there, but yeah, but don't become, BBO has this thing where he wants everybody to look like shout out to the Mexicans. He wants everybody to look like the Mexican style of fighting. He wants everybody to come in head first, flat footed, and don't move.
Yeah, he right. He right. I want you to make millions of dollars like Canelo, Oscar, Virgil Ortiz. You right. I want millions of dollars.
Floyd made millions of dollars doing what he do. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, your style is great. This is what we do, man. We have fun. These my brothers. But man, we glad to have you on here, man. We gonna, don't forget about us when you become world champion. We gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Hope to have you back on here plenty more times. And you will be a world champion, man. We gonna speak it into existence.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
God bless it. Remember, cut that ring off, Joe, and get him out of there.
Definitely.
Yeah, most
Stop
definitely.
waiting, man. Stop waiting. I see you like to wait. No, get him out of there. Get him out of there, man. Stop waiting. So you ain't know I've been watching you. Stop waiting on him, man. Go get him. I know you heard that before. Stop waiting. Go get him. I'll talk to you soon, man. Take care, brother.
I appreciate it.
Salute. Peace.
All right, peace.
Yeah. BBO, man. Thank you, man. Well, BBO, you heard that, man. Free, you heard that, man. Jerron Boots Ennis is the truth. The best guy he sparred.
He didn't say that, bro. You said that. He didn't say
No,
that.
I did not. What? Hey,
He
Free,
didn't
who
say
said that?
He said Jerron Boots is the best guy that he sparred.
Yep.
He said he a guy he sparred, and
He
that
said,
dude,
hold on,
that brother
hold on,
can,
BBO.
Joe can really fight. I think the only thing I worry about with him is he got this tendency to wait, and that's why he was quiet when I said it, because he wait too much.
I watched him, and you're right.
He
BBO.
wait way too much.
I agree with you, BBO. He's defensive minded, and I've seen it. I've watched it, and I know what you're saying. I just don't want him to think that he has to change his style up so much where he has to be with that Mexican style of fight. He does.
Oh no, I guarantee you they told him. I guarantee you they told him stop waiting, because that's what he do all the time.
No,
he wait all day.
They definitely going to tell him to step on the gas when he get his opponent hurt. But sometimes it's good to be cautious because you never know if your opponent is playing possum. So you want to be cautious and don't just rush in there and get caught with a big shot. So it's not always bad to be cautious. It's just when you know you got your opponent hurt, don't play around. Go ahead and get him out of there.
I think so too. Like I said, I watched his last fight. His last fight did go to distance. It was the first fight that went to distance.
And what did you see? And what did you see, CDK? What happened? He kept waiting. That's what I mean.
I agree. That's why I say I agree. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because he could have got that guy out of there. I know he could have.
The guy was begging to go. The guy was begging to go.
He was begging to go. He was begging to go. Yeah. He could have got him out of there. I think, like Free saying though, sometimes he's young. He's learning as he go. But I definitely believe that he will be a world champion. I see everything, man. 6'2". He's not having problem making 154-pound weight class, long arms, great range. He has the goods.
I'll tell you this, and this is not me. And this is not me glazing. This is not me glazing for just because we had him on here. Right. Out of all the prospects that we have had on here, he's the most skilled by far. Yeah. But I tell you this, the thing that I've seen, because I watched like three or four of his fights, he wait too long, and that's a problem in the pros. I know we don't say that, trying to be cordial, but I want to see him be his best. You cannot wait at the top level. Can't wait.
He's gonna be a problem. He's gonna be a problem at 6'2", because you gotta think about it. Him fighting at 54 at 6'2", he's the same size as David Benavidez.
Yeah, he's
6'2". He's a light heavyweight, bro. He's a light heavyweight. He's got to grow into it.
Yeah,
ain't no doubt. Ain't no doubt.
No, I'm just saying. I'm talking about height wise. And the arm reach. Yeah, he's gonna be a problem because most of those guys are 6 feet and under. at
Yep.
Yeah.
154. Most of them
Yep.
are 6 feet and under. So for him being 6'2", he got long arms. He gonna be a problem as long as he keep going in the right direction. He gonna be a problem.
Definitely.
Oh
And
yeah, he
he's
gonna be great, man.
legit.
He gonna be great because defensively, he's a finished product. Foot
Yep.
wise, he's a finished product. The only thing that you would say about brother Joe is we gotta see him stop waiting and to be more offensive minded. And
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
only saying that because the same stuff that we say about Shakur, we will say about him if he doesn't fix it now. Because
Yep.
he does that Shakur stuff. Have people hurt and he wanna watch him. He wanna watch his work.
The
That's what I
difference.
mean. If you watch him, that's what he do. He
Yeah.
be
Yeah. The
beating
big
people up
difference between him
free.
and
He
Shakur.
beating the dude to death. The dude damn near got his arms up. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. And he just backed up.
Hey,
He just backed
BBO.
up.
BBO. But the big difference between him and Shakur, I will say that Joseph had pretty good power. I paid attention to that. He had the power to get him out of there. Like you're saying, he does have that power where, you know what I'm saying, once he puts it in his mind that he wants to get you out of there, and if you know
Yeah.
those three things that he needs to change, like you said, the range and all that, man, he got that.
Oh,
I
his
mean,
range is great. You
this is
you
great.
know you know what I would say. You know what I'll say. What happens when people are not honest with these guys? You
Yep.
get Boo Boo Andrades, you get
Yep.
Shakur Stevensons, you get guys who beat people up the whole fight, and then they'll stop.
Yep.
And that's what I mean when I say like
I agree with you.
only because I watched him, I could even say that. He knew I watched it. The
Yeah.
dude be sitting there waiting, like, damn, you waiting on the bus? What's going on?
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
mean when I say that. Like, that's the only thing. Because when
Morgan
you watch
Dan.
the course fight last night, it was the same way. Old, young fighters that wait become old fighters that wait. So
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
I'm saying is that's
Hey,
something that's
speaking
gonna
of
always be
speak,
there if you don't change it. Go ahead. My bad.
speaking
Go
of
ahead.
Shakur, speaking of Shakur last night, I don't know if y'all heard, but they said he hurt his hand again.
I heard it. But
They said he hurt.
did you see
They said
I think he
he
said
hurt his hand again in the fight.
it's not broke or anything this time. I think it was more of swelling
When it's
this
split,
time.
what then they say it's split, his knuckle split.
Yeah. He said it's a little swole, but he don't think it's gonna be a problem. He's gonna be ready to go. You know what I'm saying? From what I'm hearing, it's
It
gonna be
might.
ready to go.
It's going.
But I'm concerned about that right
It,
there, Free. I'm really, really concerned about that because he changed gloves and everything, and had surgery. And we know Floyd had hand problems, but Floyd was able to get it under control. It seems like Shakur and his team is having problems getting this situation under control.
He
yeah. See
overtrained.
the difference between Floyd and Shakur is Floyd had hand
What's going
problems,
on?
but he had
No, I didn't.
that
You had no clothes on.
power that made people not want to jump in. He had that power. Like with Shakur, if Shakur goes fight Williams Zepeda and he goes fight Tank Davis, I don't think he's gonna make it out of that fight.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know. I
I
don't
don't
know.
think he's
His
gonna make it
you
out.
probably right, but I think his skill I do a lot. Cause one thing I will say I like with a lot of these young fighters, they becoming really skilled. Joseph Brown's a great representation of that because I hear him say he gonna do MMA. I can almost guarantee you that won't happen because he's a blue chip prospect. I
You know
mean,
what's crazy,
he's a blue
BBO?
chip prospect, man.
You
Go ahead.
know what's crazy, BBO? Because we see people like Clarissa Shields and stuff trying it. This guy's he's ahead of the curve, BBO. He's ahead of the curve. And I mean when I say ahead of the curve, like he was a WBC world titleist at Bowtie. Think about that.
Yeah.
As a teenager. So I also heard him say, I didn't bring it up, but he said the reason that he went to boxing first is because of the money. He loves
Oh, for
boxing,
sure. For
but the
sure.
money aspect of it. So I definitely think he might try to get his feet wet, you know what I'm saying, and take an opportunity to just get in there if it's just a few times. If he becomes a really big name in boxing, we know one thing about Dana White. If you're a big name, he's willing to give you opportunity. He'll get fast track and get opportunity to get some shots that other people wouldn't get coming over. You see what I'm saying? That would make a big difference.
Man, that dude, I'm gonna tell you this, and I usually don't say this, and Free and you have seen us interview guys. He's the best prospect that we've ever spoke to on the channel. And that's no shot against Noah Ash. That's
Yeah.
no shot against anybody that's ever come and supported the channel. As far as a guy with less than 10 fights, the dude got it all. The only thing that scares me to death is that waiting bullshit. I
Yeah,
know his dad cussed him out about that because I've seen it. When you see a guy that this is like you said, that fight with the distance. You know, like I know, the way he was beating him up, they
yeah,
would have called the police if they
yeah,
seen that.
yeah,
He
yeah.
beat he up there beating the frame off this dude, and then it's time to get him out of there, and he just waited. And then you see towards the end, he did the same thing again, beat him up again real bad, and then was like, "Oh, let me stop." And people don't know that's just a bad habit. That's not like a thing that can't be moved out the way. That's just a
Right.
bad habit because I think he used to being in the amateurs where they got a lot of mercy. There's no mercy in the pros.
No,
That's what I
but
mean
you,
when I
yeah,
say that.
but you hear what he said though,
What do
and
you say?
to the point with what you saying. Do you remember he said the thing he likes about the pros more is because you can hurt somebody?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he's on the same page as you is. He just got to go ahead. He understands that in the pros, you definitely can, man, you can do your thing and now you can let your hands go. And he said that he brought that up. So what you're saying is a great point. And like you said, he did hold back a lot. When I watched that fight, I was looking and I was saying to myself, I kept saying, get him out of there, get him out of here. You know what I'm saying? I was wanting him to get him out of there because he could have done it easily. But like I said, the product, he's almost a finished product, and it's crazy to say that at this age. Like what I'm seeing, like I just think, man, you could probably put him in there with somebody right now with 20 fights, and he
He right. He right. You know what? He right there with Camille Moulton. Free. That's what I would say about him.
yeah,
He right there with Camille Moulton. The only difference with I would say is he don't got the notoriety, but talent is right there with Camille. I wouldn't be surprised if Floyd or somebody coming to his corner. That's how good he is. That's what I
you
mean.
see,
That's what I mean.
he had Jeff Mayweather, and Jeff is they're still close. I don't know the
Yeah.
situation with that, but Jeff Mayweather really loves that young man, and he real high on Jeff Mayweather. So I would love for him to have the opportunity if he could have had worked with Floyd father, man, Floyd Senior, when Floyd Senior was able to still train. Man, I think that would have been a match made in heaven right there.
Are we talking about probably the next great world champion out the Mayweather gym?
I think so. I think him,
Um,
Camille Moon is being fast tracked. That's why I brought that up. Camille Moon is being fast tracked. So he might get there first, but they're both gonna be world champions.
Oh, for sure.
I don't think Cornell Moulton going to get there first. I think he'll get the opportunity first, but
Okay.
I don't think he'll get the championship first because there's still some holes in Moulton's game,
Oh,
and
definitely.
if he doesn't correct that before he gets that opportunity, he's going to get exposed on a higher level.
And
He's going
free,
to get
what you're
exposed.
saying is so true, and that's what BBL's talking about. He had the thing that Carmel is missing. He actually has. He just needs to let his hands go. You know what I'm saying? He said we think Brown is ready for who? Who is it? What's his name? Don't get me pronounce it. I'm
Who's
sorry,
that?
Tom. Uh, you see right
Oh,
there, Tom put up there.
he said, Brian ready? He said, you think Brian ready for Tails? To leave. I don't know how you. I don't know
I
if
ain't
you
gonna
Yeah,
see
he'll
his
lie.
beat him. He'll
I haven't
beat
really
him.
seen him fight.
I know you
Um,
talking about. He would beat him. He would
yeah,
beat him.
like that guy got a fight coming up. I think he's fighting on Tank Davis card this weekend.
But
Um,
yeah, only thing I would add to that free is I think Tellez would possibly bring him to a decision because from what I've seen with Joe, he gonna wait the whole damn fight instead of getting him out of there. And I'm just
You
being
think,
real.
hey, but BBO, do you think a big fight like that or a fight of that magnitude would make him have to let his hands go more and he would do
Habits are
more?
habits. Habits are habits, man. I mean,
Yeah,
that's just what it is. It's almost like if you smoke cigarettes or Black and Miles. If you got the habit, you're gonna have the habit.
yeah,
yeah, I
Nothing
mean,
changes.
it's a habit, but it can be broken.
right.
And it can be broken by him uh taking um more fights like a brawler type fighter. Because when you in there with a brawler, you're
Right.
gonna let your hands go more because you want to get them off of you.
That's what I'm
So
talking about.
That's a good point. That's a good
he
point.
needs to get in there with a guy like that that's gonna make him have to use his hands because you can't be in there with a brawler and just be defensive. They're gonna walk you down the entire fight, and if
Yep.
you're gonna be defensive, you're gonna lose that fight most 9 times out of 10. So he might need to get a couple of fights like that in order for him to break the habit of being so defensive.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think that's a great point, man. See, that's Beanie Free right there. If you don't get him much, But shout out to Beanie Freak. That was a real thought out answer
It
right there.
was, and Free basically put into words what I was trying to say. You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
BBO, about him fighting somebody just gonna let their
Somebody
head
got to
no
come
more.
get him. You're right.
Yeah,
That's a good point. Somebody got to come get him. But I
yeah,
don't
Yeah.
think many people will, because for one, Joe was punching. That's the
yeah,
thing. He's
yeah.
punching. You know, and it's weird because I haven't seen that in a long time where a guy can punch, but he's not in love with his power. I'm not saying he like a one punch knockout dude, but they getting up off him when he punch. That's
Yeah,
just,
hey,
and that's
BBO,
what, and I
he gonna
know
make you
as a
respect him.
trainer, if I was a
He gonna make
trainer,
you
that's
respect
why
him.
you see trainers cussing people out. Like when you see Kelly Ellis slap his fighter and say, "It's time to effing fight." It's time to fight, bro. He got to get somebody. You know what would be good for Joseph Brown, and people probably won't agree with me, but Cunningham. If he
Cut
had
down.
Cunningham, oh my God. Can you imagine Cunningham with that frame, that them skills, that polished already? He'll be
Uh, I
champion in 2 years.
I tell you another person that would have been good for him if he ever would have had the chance to work
Oh,
with him. I
Snoop
mean,
one
he's no
pounds.
longer around anymore. But a guy like Emmanuel
What's
Stewart,
good? AWM
Oh yeah.
Boxing Podcast.
yeah,
Yeah.
Emmanuel Stewart would have definitely made him be a better puncher, far
Free.
as letting his hands go. Because
Hey,
you
Free.
saw what Emmanuel Stewart did with Lennox Lewis. Lennox
Oh,
Lewis
That's
change. Yeah.
crazy.
he was already a good fighter, but when he got with Emmanuel Stewart, it made him that much better because
Yeah.
Emmanuel Stewart showed him how to use that jab and keep people at the end of your jab.
I'm gonna do another one later. I got you. And Free, I promise
Yeah.
you, I was gonna ask y'all what y'all thought about the Crunk Gym and over there. That was my next question of what y'all thought
Yeah.
about that him matching up with them. We on the same
That would be
page.
perfect for him. That would be perfect for him.
Working with
Because
who?
Uh,
like the Crunk Gym in Detroit, the Crunk Gym.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
and
with
that's amazing Stewart.
Sugar Hill and all them.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna ask that same. I was gonna say the same thing. That's a good match for him. But like you said,
Whoever trained him, I'll say this: whoever trained him, they focused a lot on defense, and I can see it because he don't get hit. I mean, he just be real. He don't be getting hit, and he be really punching. So
yeah.
whoever taught him defense first. He didn't learn
His
how to
dad,
punch
he
first.
said his dad, and I'm gonna tell you something, BVO. He said his dad was the one that really had him focus on defense. But if you think about this, we really don't think about it that much. We focus on boxing. But when people are throwing kicks at your head, you gotta be focused on defense. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? People are throwing actually, man, trying to kick you in your head. So it's gonna make you work on your defense. That's why I think it really helped him having the best of both worlds coming up.
Yeah, that's a good point too because yeah, being in the MMA, your first focus is defense because you got shots coming from different angles. It's coming from your legs. It's coming from your arms, elbows. So
Yeah,
your sole focus is on defense. And then when you see a shot, you take the shot.
right.
So that's probably why he is so defensive because he's coming from MMA.
That's a good point.
Yeah, yeah.
But we're gonna add this to the interview archive, so we're not gonna let this run too long. We're gonna come back and
Okay.
do some more stuff. But man, shout out to Joseph Brown, man. I think he's gonna be terrific fighter. And champ, don't let me saying you gotta stop waiting come off the wrong way. I'm only saying that because you are God gifted. You punching, you got
Yeah.
great feet, not good feet, great feet. I honestly think he's a better version of Jamel Charlo one day.
Wow.
And
That's a big
that's
statement.
how good he can be. That's how good he can be because he punching and he just gotta get out of that habit of waiting. Because you know why I said that too? If you look at Jamel, that's Jamel's problem too. You notice how he always do better in the rematches. Because the rematches, he not waiting at all.
Yeah.
When it comes to big fights, what he doing? Waiting at the bus stop, waiting at the bus stop. Get off
uh,
the bus stop and go get him. That's the only thing I say
BBO,
with a guy like
before we
that. Get
go,
away from
say
that bus
this.
stop.
Before we go, Thursday we'll be having Mickey Bay on Thursday
Oh yeah, shout out to Mickey Bay, man. Because
Yeah.
for
Mickey
sure.
Bay, one of those guys who don't get enough credit for what he's done, man. I mean when he fought George Kambosos, I thought he won. That was a really good fight, man. Shout out to
Oh,
Mrs.
he did
Day, man.
win that fight. He won that fight in my mind. I think.
Yeah, Joe. I don't know. They just
I've
gave
been
that
talking
one.
back and forth,
Why?
corresponding. He's ready. He said Thursday he'll be ready. So definitely Thursday we will have him on here.
Hey, and on that note, man, like I said, we might come back this afternoon. It's your boy BBO Boxing.
Yeah,
It's the Puerto Rican Prince D Free. And of course, it's the legendary OG from Chicago. My guy, CDK. Man.
Yeah,
You got
Hall of
anything
Fame. You heard me?
Say one more time? Oh, yeah, we doing some big things, man.
Ada Velez.
Say it one more time?
Yeah. Ada Velez wants to come on, ever win a world title from Puerto Rico. She's a Hall of Famer, had a great career. She has a gym out in Florida. She got some great fighters. She got a young fighter now. I can't think of her name. She's undefeated, a really good female fighter, and man, she knows her boxing.
Yeah, every time I see her, I think about that song by Cameo. Candy.
Yeah.
And on that note, we be back, man. Shout out to the mighty Sports Talk. We're done, y'all.
Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching BVO. And if you're down with BVO, subscribe and join the community. Have a great night.